Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes vlog. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today I've got these really fun collection from our friends at Made to Surprise. This is the double slider card collection. What's a double slider card? Let me show you right here. This is a double slider card. Look, there's one and there's two. Isn't that cool? So let me show you all about this. This first one that I just showed you uses two die sets. One is called the Woodland Folk Circular Editions Double Slider Die Set. The other one is the base for that. That would be the Woodland Folk Circular Double-Sided Die Set. Okay, then we also have the in square format. So the base part is the Woodland Folk Square Double-Sided Die Set. And the next one is Woodland Folk Square Editions Double Slider Die Set. And then we've got the fun paper pad to go with that has these cool backgrounds in it. Okay, and then we've got the stamp set with all the little critters and the sayings on it. Okay, so let's go back to this round one, circular one, and then I'm going to show you step by step how to put together the square one. So for the round one here, you start off with the base set, okay? And it uses all the circles. These are the little pull-out sides tabs. You use a lot of foam tape in this. If you can see here, it's got layers. And essentially, you're just making little pockets that these slide in and out, okay? So for this one, I used the Secret Garden cardstock, colored cardstock. It has two shades of green, which is really handy, and this nice blue, and then a lot of white cardstock, all right? I also use Spectrum Noir pens, tri-blend markers to do my little critters on there. That's that one. Let's get right to the square one. All right. So yeah, this is the Woodland Folk Square. And what you want to do is, here is this die set for the base part, right? And the ones that you're mainly going to be dealing with right off the bat, this is for the slider mechanism. Here we go. All right, and then this is for your base. And then all of these little pieces are for the little slide out. So I think it's kind of less intimidating with all the pieces when you look at it as really three different parts. This part right here makes a cool stand to put on the back, and I'm going to show you that when we get to the end. I can find my stand. Here it is. All right, so let's start with the slider part of it. Nope, let's start with the pull-out tag part. All right, so we've got all of our little pull-out tags. This is how I did mine, okay? So we've got one of the little patterned papers that comes in the paper pad, and we're gonna want to make two of these tags. So let me just show you which of the dies I used, because there's 4 dies and I only used 3 of them. So here's the largest one. Then this one has a little bit of a stitch edge around it. This is the only one I chose not to use. Just didn't feel like it needed that many layers. And I used this one, and then this one is the only one that doesn't have the little notch on it, and that's what I did the pattern paper out of. Okay, so did that, and I did that out of just this really nice kind of a teal paper. This is from, oh yes, this is from Gingham's No. 2 cardstock collection, and then I also used some chocolate brown cardstock. All of that is available at Paper Wishes. We're going to need to make 2 of these tags. Then we're going to make the slider mechanism. That uses this one. Get rid of those. All right, so you're going to want to die cut 2 of these out of white cardstock as well, and then 2 of the paper strips. So we're just going to be dealing with one at a time here. So you're going to take your little paper strip, and there's these little slots here, and you're going to go under the center one, and you're going to go over this one. You're going to lift up that center piece, and you're going to go under that one as well. Okay, center that right there. Pretty much all there is to that. Now you're going to turn it over. No, you're not. You're going to just do it from the front. So we're dealing on the front here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take this side, and you're just folding it over that little center piece that little center strip, and you're just going to fold this one. Right? That's easy enough. Now, the designer of this collection I could mention is Sam Calcott, and she is brilliant, and I love her designs, but she had some really great tips on her videos. She has 2 videos to make these, one for the circle, one for the square, and I put them on both of the product pages for each of these collections. And she has some really good tips that I'll pass on here, but I would encourage you to check those out as well. And if you're watching us on YouTube, I'll put those in our description box as well. So she says you can use glue. So we've got our specialist acrylic glue. There's a little bit of an overlap here, and you want to glue the overlap pieces together, but you don't want to get any glue on anything else here, okay? So her tip for that is maybe you just want to use double-sided adhesive. This is extra sticky tape, and you could just put a little bit right here and then stick it, and you wouldn't have any seepage that way, and you'd have a little bit more control over it. So I'm just gonna like be very, very careful and put a little bit right here. Gonna get rid of that extra, and then I'm going to overlap them like this. All right, so I need to make sure this is still working. It is. There's nothing seeping out of there. All right, so that's safe. But if you feel like, I'm not so sure about that, the extra sticky tape is a fine solution to that. All right, so you're gonna make 2 of these. So I've got my 2, right? And then you're gonna take one of your tags. We're gonna have one going this direction and one going this direction, our left and our right. And we're gonna take this tag and we're gonna glue just that edge, or tape it, just this edge to this edge right here that we've got. And we don't want it to slip and slide and get a lot of extra glue. We want to use a very small amount of glue. And as I said, you can use either product, works fine. You just want to be careful with that seepage. Okay, so we're gluing that between this little slits at the top and bottom, and you want to have just a nice border around the edge. That's how you know you got it in the right place. Okay, so once that's glued down, you can wait till it dries, you should, but you can still see it's moving, and so that we're okay there. We're going to do the same thing to the other side, but quick ahead, we're also going to do a little foam tape around this edge and this edge, front and back. Now here's another little tip that she has. We love our giant wheel of foam tape at Paper Wishes. It is 50 yards or 150 feet for under 20 bucks. And this thing lasts for a really long time. It's nice to use this because you can get long continuous strips. Okay, but Sam had a great tip, and I'd seen this before, I've just never taken the time to do it. This is just wax paper, okay, plain old wax paper. Put your strips on this, and that way when you cut it, you're not getting your scissors all gummy, which I think is genius, okay? So I cut each one of these strips into 3 pieces. That's about a nice width, okay? So got my little strips pre-cut here, and I'm just going to take them and put them on the top and bottom. Got paper flying around here. All right, so you just want to keep it away from the tag mechanism, okay? So it's doing that freely. All right, and I've got some here on another piece. Taking my little paper strips off. All right. So we've got foam tape on both of our things. This one, we have it on both sides. I haven't put it on the side of this one yet, but now what are we going to do with that? So now we're returning to our base pieces, and we've got these 2 squares. All right, so there's a larger square and a smaller square. The smaller square, we're going to have you die cut a piece of white cardstock right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our little square and we're going to foam tape it right here, but we want to have a nice white border around the edges. My border got a little crooked there. Here, I'm just going to stand it up and do it. There. All right, so we've got that one. Notice my notch is on this side. Well, now we need one on the back, so we're going to do it on this side. All right. Oops. All right, so now we've got, we're getting it, there's our mechanism. All right, now we've got our large square, and I cut that out of teal. All right, oops, I forgot to put my strips on the bottom of that other side. I thought, I'll wait to do that, and then I'll remember, and then I forgot. I took my backings off of these tapes a little too soon, but they're sticking to everything. All right, so once again, we're going to put this right here. We're just going to make sure we have a teal border around the outside edge. I just need to do it like this. All right, there we go. All right, so now we're getting ready to put something on the top of this. So now we're going to be working on the top part of our thingy. All right, so I have another small square of white using the smaller of the two dies. Now we're going to be using this one, the small one, a couple of times. We're done with the large ones. We're going to put this away. So white cardstock. Then I just took a blender brush and some Lagoon ink, okay? Just a nice turquoisey blue. And I just kind of wanted to do some clouds up here. So I just sort of did some splotchy clouds. And then, oh, sorry, I need to mention, we are now officially moving to this set, the addition set. Okay, so we've got our bottom here. Now we're moving to the addition set. That's where we're going to make all the little fun topper pieces. Okay, so the addition set has some scallop square pieces that you can use for your base. I'm choosing not to use those. Okay, they're great. All right, so now we've got this like woodland scene right here. And then we've got another woodland scene. And we've got a cute little tree stump and some cute little mushrooms. And then a little happy birthday banner. All right, so primarily we are going to be focused on these two pieces right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this one and I'm going to die cut it out of the chocolate brown. And I'm going to be gluing it here to create our background. But I also didn't want to have just a brown hill. I wanted to have a green one. So I cut it out of green and then I just cut off the trees and I'm inked this top edge with the extra little dark green and I'm going to put that right over there. All right. Now we're going to glue this to this. And you can put a little bit of glue on here or on these tree branches and trees, or you could also use sticky specs adhesive. And either one works great. As you can see, the glue is pretty quick. You just want to keep it really dry. Like once you put this down, I would let this dry for a little while before I would put too many layers on top of it. All right, so there we are on that piece. Okay, so now we get to do the top piece. We're done with, where did it go? We're done with this piece. So now we're going to make this piece right here, but we are going to go back to our smaller size square from our base collection. That's the one that we cut all of our white squares out of. And we're going to cut one out of tan cardstock square, and then we're going to use this to die cut the center of that. That's what we get right here. Now, one of the things I wanted to do, what was different on this card, is make it a shaker card. So at this point, I put some acetate. And you can buy acetate by the sheet at Paper Wishes. So I just took one sheet, put some glue right here, and then glued my acetate on, and it's slightly smaller, and put it on there, okay? So that's gonna be ready to go. And I also, before I put the acetate on, I inked the edges of this brown so it give it a little more woodsy take on it. And then we've got this, we're going back to this piece, and we want to get our stamp set out and stamp some cool little figures, color those with Spectrum Noir markers. And we can even add some to the front of this. So we're going to skip ahead. And here is what I've done on the front of this. I just took my cute little characters and these cute little mushrooms, and I colored all of them with Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers. Oops. All right, so these will all be listed in the drop-down menu below the video, so on Paper Wishes blog page. And if you're watching us on our vlog page, I'll go through where you can find all of this, but they're listed individually there. So because I used more than this. We've got the dull green, the true blue, the earth brown, the brown gray, and golden brown, and then the dark red. Okay, I use those to color everything. Then I added these cute little flowers, little here, and around here, and these are Sparklet's Garden Party. They're like these little slices, Melifiori slices. They're so cute. And then on the inside, so I took this piece right here, and I went back to my little mechanism here, and it's got my foam tape on top, and I'm adhering that right there, okay? That's where that's gonna go. And then through the magic of doing things ahead of time, I went ahead and did some more little critters and some more little mushrooms, and just glued those right there. You don't want to use any foam tape when you're doing a shaker card on the inside, all right? So now I've got the inside of my card done, and I've got the top of my card done, all right? And so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some little shaker material in here. Now, I'm just gonna do a little pinch just like this. Okay, and I get my little paper strips off of my foam tape again. So once you've got your strips of foam tape on the back of your acetate covered top, now I'm using super thin shaker material, so like sequins or these little tiny sprinklets are perfect for that. If you were doing anything thicker, you'd want more than one layer of foam tape. The one layer of foam tape is going to work for me, but if you have thicker shaker material, you'll want 2 or more layers. All right, so we're going to foam tape that right on there. All right, and I've got a little happy birthday banner with some more foam tape on the top, or the back rather. I'm just going to put that right at the top. All right, so now we've got our shaker. We've also got these adorable little slide outs. And then what can we do with these slide outs? I went back to that stamp set, cut a few little strips here and stamped "Go Nuts, It's Your Birthday," and also "With Love." I'm going to put those on here as well. And then remember I was telling you about the little stand that you can put on here. Okay, we've got that going on. Okay, then we've got this long piece that came in our original set of the base pieces, and you would just cut that from white cardstock, and this is going to make the stand. right? So refer back to the die. It's got all the folds on there. So what you want to do with this is you want to do a mountain fold, a valley fold, mountain fold, mountain fold. And you're just going to kind of fold those, and it's going to make our stand. Get that? And we're going to put a little bit of glue right here. And then we're going to glue, oops, this right to the back of that. We have our little stand, okay? Just gonna put dots of glue. And the most important thing here is you want to get it straight. There it works, great. All right, so, and if you don't want to put a stand on it, then you don't have to do that, but it's kind of a nice display. You can put it on a shelf, and I think that's fun for the recipient. You guys, we have got a great money saver on this collection, really. So if you're watching us on our vlog page, the money saver is on the right-hand side of the screen. You just click on that, and it'll take you to that special price. And if you're below our video, we have a link for a gallery of both of these projects, and if you click on the photos, it'll take you to the supply pages for them. And also below that, we've got a drop-down menu with all of the products used on this, so you can click on those individually if you're just interested in one item or so. If you're watching us on YouTube, I'm putting the links to Sam's videos on there, but also the link that'll take you to our vlog page at Paper Wishes, and you'll find all of the things I just talked about. If you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It really helps people find us. And consider subscribing as well. We do 3 to 5 videos a week, and if you don't subscribe, you might miss something. Thanks for joining me today, and I will see you next time.